Welcome to the Cook's Compass, the podcast where we explore kitchens, cultures, and the stories in between. I'm your host, Matt Lardy. This is the very first episode of the podcast, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. I can't sit still. This has been such a long time coming, and I'm so stoked. Do people even say that anymore? I'm so excited about this. So today we are headed to the North Carolina coast, to Wilmington, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite events of the year. I'm going to be joined shortly by Jessica Maurer, the director of Feast Wilmington Food Festival, an event that brings together chefs, makers, and food lovers to spotlight the rich culinary culture of Wilmington and the surrounding region. Jessica is a graduate of the Cambridge School of Culinary Arts and has worn many hats within the hospitality industry. She has covered Wilmington's food and beverage scene for the Greater Wilmington Business Journal and Wilma Magazine, and now Feast Unwrapped, for over a decade, and helped to launch Feast Wilmington in 2024. Jessica has a front row seat to how food connects people, supports local economies, and creates unforgettable experiences. We're going to talk about the details of Feast Wilmington, the different events of the days, the 2 days of events, and what makes this particular food festival stand out. We're also going to talk about how Wilmington itself has become, in my opinion, one of the most exciting places to dine in North Carolina today. All of the details on the festival will be in the show notes. It is coming up at the end of this month, March 28th and 29th. Tickets are going fast, Jessica told me, so you're going to want to go to feastwilmington.com. Pause the podcast, go now, buy your tickets, then come back and finish it. I give you permission to do that. So you can grab a cup of coffee, grab a glass of wine, depending on what time of day it is where you are, and get ready to start planning your next trip to Wilmington. This is the Cook's Compass. The Cook's Compass is a bi-monthly podcast hosted by me, food writer Matt Lardy, that explores kitchens, cultures, and the stories in between. Through thoughtful conversations with chefs, home cooks, writers, and creatives, the show examines how food connects us to place, memory, and one another. Each episode uses cooking as a lens to better understand identity, tradition, and the ways we navigate an ever-changing world. New episodes of The Cook's Compass air every other week on all major podcast platforms. Listeners can subscribe to the Cook's Compass newsletter through the link in each episode description. Newsletter subscribers receive exclusive recipes, the opportunity to submit questions for upcoming guests, access to special subscriber-only episodes, and more. Okay, everybody, welcome to the Cook's Compass podcast. My name is Matt Lardy. I am your host, and I am here today with Jessica Maurer. She is the director of Feast Wilmington, which has quickly become one of my favorite food festivals, and I go to a lot of food festivals, and I just really love how intimate it is and how truly celebratory of Wilmington's food scene is. So we're going to get into the festival, Wilmington's food scene, which I think is one of the most exciting in the Southeast today, and all of that good stuff. But Jessica, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. You are officially my first guest on this
Oh my
podcast,
gosh,
which is
how
really
exciting
exciting.
is that? Well, I haven't done too
Yeah.
many of these, so I'm not sure
Listen, we'll
I'm
do this
qualified to
together.
be the very first guest, but I appreciate you having me.
So, really quickly, give me let's start with Wilmington and then let's get to
Sure.
to the festival. So, I have been going to Wilmington pretty regularly for about the past decade.
hmm
And I have seen it changed. It's really developed a strong reputation as a food town. It's kind of moved away from just being like tourist food into a lot of different offerings, especially since the pandemic. I would say probably like from what I've seen, the last like 4 or 5 years have been this explosion.
Yes.
So, from your perspective on the ground, as someone who lives there
hmm
and dines out on the daily, what makes it so special? Like, and how has it evolved? How have you
Yeah.
seen it evolve?
Yeah. So I've been in Wilmington for about 17 years now. And for many of those years, I covered restaurants for our Wilmington Business Journal. And so, really have seen the incredible growth over that time. I felt like throughout the years that I was doing that coverage, it did seem like there were a pretty steady number of restaurants opening, but I definitely agree, like within the last probably 10 years and then even within the last five, it's, probably just gone. I don't know. I don't even know what the numbers are exactly, but we definitely have seen significant growth in the number of restaurants opening here in Wilmington. And I think there's a few different reasons for that. I think Wilmington has incredible access to ingredients. So seafood, obviously,
Hmm.
great local farms, to get produce from, and just, all throughout the state and just access to some really great ingredients. So I think that has really fueled, when the farm to table movement, as that grew, I think that's something that really influenced the food scene here and that chefs really gravitated towards and continue to. And I think that's, really been a strong backbone of our culinary scene here and the growth that we've seen over the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, I think you brought up an interesting point because I've heard chefs here where I'm based in Durham in the Triangle say something similar, that one of the unique things about our restaurant cultures is that we are these little urban pockets
Hmm.
that are surrounded by rural, like
Yeah.
really close. You don't have to drive 30 minutes. You can
No.
often drive just like 15 minutes outside of city limits and be at a
Hmm.
farm.
Right.
And then y'all have the added bonus of also
Yeah.
having the marshes and the Atlantic Ocean and
Right.
everything there. It's just like this perfect storm of deliciousness.
Yes, it is. It is. I think that's been a big contributing factor. And I think too, for a long time, Wilmington did have, we had some like traditional Southern restaurants and, a lot of mom and pop type restaurants, but we've definitely seen growth in the area of ethnic foods coming into the city. I think there's been an increased demand for that. And so we've seen a wider variety of different, ethnic cuisines available, which is exciting. And also, people coming in from other areas, Wilmington's a really desirable place to live, obviously. So we've seen, chefs
Mhm.
that maybe have started their careers in major cities and, then are looking for places with maybe a little bit of a slower pace and, a little bit of a different kind of, lifestyle enhancement than living in a city.
Yeah. And so y'all created sort of Feast Wilmington to be, there have been other different
Yeah.
food events off and on, but this has really become like the signature
Hmm.
food event in Wilmington. So tell me a little bit about, how many years we're going on now,
Right.
how many people you estimate have attended, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So this will be our third year. We started in 2024, so this is just going into our third year. And we've definitely seen significant growth year over year with this, as people start to kind of learn what it is. And, once people have attended and, we're kind of building towards that, people getting excited for this annual event once they've been, it's something that they, want to return to. But we still come across people that are learning about it for the first time, both within our community and then beyond as well. So we're very excited. We think this may be our first sellout year, which would be a great milestone to hit on our
That's
third time
great. Yeah.
around. So yeah, so it's kind of trending towards that at this point, which is exciting. Um, we limit our events to 1,500 people per event. We have the three events over the weekend with each with
Hmm.
a different theme, each with a completely different lineup of chefs. But we feel like that's the number that we want to keep it at, to where it just creates the kind of environment that we're aiming for, where people don't feel like they're waiting in line the entire time and they're just not overwhelmed by the amount of, the crowd and all of that. And there is
Yeah.
some ability to interact with the chefs and all of that. So,
Yes, and as an attendee, thank you for that because I've left events before
yeah.
because frankly, I'm not going to stand in line for 45 minutes for a single bite,
Right.
or I can see the chefs are just overwhelmed with the
Hmm.
onslaught of people. If it's not fun for them, if it's not fun for
Right.
the attendees, then what's the point of the event, kind
Exactly.
of?
Yeah. I think we've all been to events like that where you just walk away disappointed. You feel like you
Hmm.
paid a good amount of money to be there. You didn't really get your money's worth in terms of the food or the drinks. And yeah, and you were left just standing in line the whole time feeling frustrated. So we definitely try to avoid that. And, you make a good point about the chefs too. That's something that from the start, we were like, we have to make this something that these chefs also look forward to, that they want to return to, year after year, that
Mm.
it's an enjoyable experience for them, just this, everything from just the ease of them getting in and out of the park to, that interaction with the attendees and just the whole pace of it all. So yeah, that's something that's been really important to us as well.
Nice. So, and you mentioned the park. So set the scene for people who
Mm.
haven't been, because it is also, as it happens to be one of my favorite food festivals, I think it also has one of the most gorgeous
Yeah.
settings of any food festival. So like kind of set the scene for someone, a
Sure.
first time person who's going, what are they
Yeah.
gonna see?
So we're super fortunate to be able to have the festival at Live Oak Bank Pavilion at Riverfront Park, which is it's a concert venue actually, right on the river, right on the Cape Fear River in downtown Wilmington. And while it's designed as this concert venue, it also is a perfect venue for this type of festival as well. So I don't know if we are showing a video, you can see
Oh
there's a
yeah, I can see it
picture
there right
behind
behind you.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big picture behind me. But yeah, it's great. It's a, lovely open space. We currently, the past couple of years, have only been just using a portion of the park. There's a lot of room to grow out into like the concert lawn area. We'll see a little bit of that this year, pushing back onto that a little bit more with some additional activations and things like that. But yeah, it's a beautiful venue. We just have to hope for beautiful weather to go along with it.
I know. I don't know if you guys got the storm that blew through here today,
Yeah,
but
yeah. So we definitely were saying this would not be ideal. So
yes. So with Feast Wilmington, you bring together, I think, such a good representation of the Wilmington food scene. It's not just like the latest, the hottest
Mhm.
new chefs and the people that are getting the most press. They're a longtime staples of
Yeah.
the restaurant food and beverage scene there. So how does the festival sort of reflect the personality and diversity of Wilmington's food community?
Yeah, I think we try hard to have it be a real representation of the entire city food scene, and of course that means everything from some of your more local, casual, spaces, hidden gems, if you will, that type of thing. And then the whole range up to your more upscale restaurants so that people really do get a variety and they see their favorite restaurants from those that are the ones that they go to, on a Tuesday or as well as ones that they like to go to for a special occasion. So, we really just do try to have it be a really good mix.
Nice. So, and obviously you are the director, so you are intimately involved in all the planning of this. Um, I know it's a lot of work, and I'm sure it kind of feels like, kind of like planning a wedding every year or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
But what are you personally most excited for this year?
This year, well, to me, I think we're able to get feedback from our attendees every year that help us just get a little bit stronger, So again, just going into our third year, we try to survey or we do survey our attendees after each of the events, get that feedback, really kind of go through that, take the suggestions that people are offering and see how we can incorporate that into making it a better experience each time. So, and sometimes that's just little minor tweaks that we can add in, and things that, probably people don't even see necessarily, but just help everything run a little bit smoother. But also, this year we've got a great lineup, I think, at each one of our events. Again, they're all different chefs at each one and a really good variety, like we were talking about a few minutes ago. Um, I think just like building that better experience, year over year,
Mhm.
to welcome people back, to new attendees. And we do definitely have a few new activations from some of our sponsors that I think people will enjoy this year as well. So I think just, kind of creating that vibrant and exciting atmosphere and trying to sprinkle in a few new things, along the way.
So, so I want to talk about those in a second. but thinking back of the past years, can you think of particular dishes or experiences that really stood out to you?
Oh gosh, Matt, you're gonna put me on the
This
spot.
just
That's
popped in my head. So if you, yeah, I'm putting you on the spot because I was trying
And
to
now when
think.
we're 2 weeks out from
Um,
the event, my mind is kind of,
yeah,
all over the place too with, and gosh, I know that's hard. There definitely have been like some standouts. Let me think real quick. If I
I
can
know.
remember
Well,
any
you think
specific dishes.
for me last year at the brunch event, the mimosas were incredible.
Okay, good, good.
But I can't remember who it was now, but they just had a raw bar, and anytime I'm at an
Mm,
event and I see a raw bar, I know that they're gonna get slammed.
yes.
And so my husband and I, we made sure we're like, we are just sitting here, we're getting the oysters, we're not leaving
Right.
this area until we get our fill.
I
And it
know.
was just so much fun to just
So
walk
good.
around and have the river and all of the boats at the marina
Yeah.
and my mimosa and the music and the oysters. It was just it's such a good way to kick off spring.
It is. It is. Yeah. And I feel like the brunch event this year, the lineup for that, the menus are looking really amazing. Speaking of brunch, but um yeah, for past events, gosh, I'm still trying to think of like who some of my favorite ones were last year. It does kind of like run together a little bit after a while, but
Yeah. Well, then let's talk about what are some of the new things that are happening this year that you're excited about.
yeah, so we have a little bit of a different setup this year with our spirits, our wine spirits beverage area. So we've experimented with a couple different ways of doing that the first 2 years, and we've got another new way that we're trying out this year. So we'll have sort of like a spirits section with spirits from a few different companies, and then we'll have a wine bar, and then we'll have a beer area. So it'll be separated out, whereas before we had everything pretty much just all at one main bar. So I think that will be kind of fun for people to go around, be able to see a little bit more what each spirit company is providing in terms of their cocktails and stuff, and kind of like figure out, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to try? So I think that will be kind of cool. We also have what we're calling the Publix Chill Zone. So Publix Grocery is one of our
Mhm.
sponsors this year, and they're helping us to create just kind of like a relaxation area out on the lawn there. So we have lots
That's
of
nice.
Adirondack chairs. So if people at once they've gone around and gotten some food, if they want to just sit and chill for a little bit, maybe
Some
listen
time to digest.
listen to the bands, yeah, or just collect some things, go and sit for a little while, and then go back for another round. So I think that will be a nice addition this year as well.
Nice. Nice. So when you think about for someone who's maybe never been to Feast Wilmington or even maybe has never been to Wilmington, maybe they're
Yeah.
coming specifically for this. Um, what do you hope that they sort of walk away with from the
Mm.
festival, understanding about the city's food culture and what Wilmington has to offer?
Yeah, I think, if someone say had been to Wilmington before, and and they came to the festival, I think I would love for them to just walk away just being wowed at all that our culinary scene here has to offer. Or if you're new to the area, I mean, we're always meeting new people. Obviously, there's lots of people moving to the area, and they sometimes don't realize just how diverse and how expansive our culinary scene is. So I always think that's a great event for people that are new to the area. But yeah, just for them to be really wowed by, the just overall level of food that's being created by our chefs here, and how much there is to offer. I
Yeah,
think that would be my
yeah,
goal, was like for people to say, wow, like I had no idea that there was all this going on here. That would be incredible.
yeah. And for folks to know, you pull for the event, you're pulling chefs from not from Wilmington,
Hmm.
the city itself, but then
Right.
also Carolina Beach and Wrightsville Beach as well.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
correct?
definitely. And even some from, into the surrounding counties. And we have a chef from Greenville this year. So, we definitely will keep
Fantastic.
it locally focused, within sort of our like tri-county area for the most part.
Mhm.
But we do think that having, chefs, other North Carolina chefs from some other areas beyond Wilmington adds a level of excitement too, to just bring in someone new that maybe, the vast majority of people may not have dined at their restaurant before. So it's our hope to have, a few of those each year as well as we continue to grow.
So
Yeah.
can you name drop some of the chefs and restaurants that will be there this year?
Overall, like Wilmington chefs and restaurants, is
Yeah,
that,
just
yeah.
who, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like who's coming from Greenville
Oh,
too?
well, so we have Luke Owen from Native Fine
Oh,
Diner.
fantastic.
Yeah. He was with
Yes.
us last year too. So we're excited to have him back for sure. Um, yeah, but then in Wilmington, well, I don't know. We've got the full lineup of all of our restaurants are listed on our website. If people are interested in seeing, kind of who's going to be at each event, you can go on, you can see, we have the Saturday event, which is craft and cuisine. And that's where we
Yes.
partner each of our restaurants with one of our local breweries and they work together. They collaborate on a pairing. So that's a lot of fun. At each station, you have your food and your beer right there. So you don't even have to walk to the other side of the park to get your beverages
Yeah,
at
I
that
love
one.
that.
So
Yeah.
that's a lot of fun. So you can see who's participating. You can also see their actual menu items. So that's cool. And then a Saturday evening, we have our pier party. And then Sunday brunch. So yeah, people
I
can go
like that
online
you've
and see.
done the three different sort of themes as well. So
Yeah.
it's just you people can pick and choose because you can get a
Mhm.
ticket for just one of the events. Is that
Yes. So
correct?
you can choose just
Okay.
one of the events. Yeah, you can buy the tickets individually, or you can buy a weekend pass, which will get you into all three. There's pretty good savings if you think you might want to attend, more than one. The weekend pass can be a great option. And it's important that people know that the ticket price includes unlimited sampling of all the food and the beverages. So you don't have to buy your beverages separately once you're in. You get a little feast glass when you come in, and that's sort of your tasting glass that you use for all the different bars. And yeah, you don't have to take out your wallet at all once you're inside. So that's kind of nice.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Um, and then oh gosh, what was I just gonna ask you? Um, Spaced here.
That's okay.
Just to sort of like to kind of wrap up here, what if someone was to combine this with like a weekend? Actually, here's what we're
Yeah.
gonna do. I'm gonna do some like rapid fire questions for you.
Oh
So
gosh, that sounds scary, but
as both a longtime Wilmington person and someone who writes about food and now works in food, I'm
right.
gonna ask you, okay, where are you going for breakfast?
Where am I going for breakfast? So, oh my gosh, just this past weekend, I went to the new Pine Valley Market at Wrightsville Beach, and it was so
It's,
good. I actually am excited to go back
it's
because I
so
had a hard
good.
time deciding what to get, and there's a few other things I want to try.
Yes, we went to lunch there the other week. I loved it.
Nice.
Okay, where are you going for sunset drinks?
Sunset drinks. Um, I do love smoke on the water for sunset
Yeah,
drinks. I think
nice.
that's a nice spot on the river.
And then if someone wants to maybe go out now, you can get, trust me, I can tell you if you're listening and you're going to Feast, you get plenty of food and drink when you're there. But if someone is say leaving and they want to have a nightcap on Saturday evening, where downtown would you send them for one final cocktail?
Ooh, for one final cocktail, I would say, I love the gazebo bar at Dram Yard. I think that's a really fun little
Yes.
spot. I'm not sure if when the actual outdoor gazebo bar opens. Hopefully it's open by the end of the
I feel
month.
like
I
it's
don't
probably
know.
warm enough.
It's
Yeah,
probably
they've got those fire
getting
pits.
there. Yeah.
It's like being in, I've always said it's almost like being in a garden in like New Orleans or
Yeah,
Savannah or something.
I know.
It's like its own little oasis
I
back
do.
there.
I love that little spot over there. Yeah.
Nice.
Probably be my choice.
Okay, so remind us the website for the festival.
So it's feastwilmington.com. And
Okay.
yep, you can go there. Like I said, you can see all the different lineups of restaurants at each event. You can see exactly what they're going to be serving. Yep, you can get all your tickets there. There's chef profiles, all kinds of good info. Feast Unwrapped, our newsletter, lives on our website as well. You can sign up for that if you are interested in
And
getting a.
that is a fantastic newsletter that
Thank
I
you.
read it. It's you guys do that year round and it's
Yes,
really great.
yes.
It's
So,
really great information for anyone who's local to Wilmington or
mhm,
who likes to visit Wilmington and the surrounding area. Highly recommend signing
yeah,
up for that.
yeah, for sure.
Well, Jessica, thank you so much. I am
Yeah,
so excited for Feast. Now, this will come out next week, and hopefully there will still be some tickets because I know you said we're getting
yes,
close,
we
but
are getting close.
it's March 28th and 9th. Is that
Yes,
correct?
28th and 9th.
March 28th
Yep.
and 29th, downtown Wilmington, right on the river, Feast Wilmington. I will see you there, Jessica. If anyone listening goes and you see me running around, feel free to grab me and say hi, and I will take you to my favorite bite, which when I'm there changes every 30 seconds. But I really appreciate you coming on today,
Well, I appreciate
and
you
I will
having
see you
me. Thank you.
soon.
It's been fun talking
Yeah,
with you, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now I can see if I can hit stop recording this. Let's see. Oh, there we go.